Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. And today I get to sit with my friend, Dan Rundio. Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Johnny. Thanks for having me on.
Let me tell you a little bit about Dan and a little bit about the context. So, Dan is the CFO of my company. I'm the CEO of Data Joe. Dan is my CFO. And together we've been able to, we've been able to work together to create a really cool culture. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But the reason we're having this interview is Dan has kind of come across a payroll tax benefit, and we're trying to make people aware of this because people don't know about it. And because I trust Dan, because Dan's my CFO, because I've gotten to see him in action, then I was interested in broadcasting kind of what he's found to the world. So Dan, to start, could you tell us a little bit about some of the wins you've had as a CFO at Data Joe?
Yeah, I mean, we've cleaned up the billing and collections. It was, there was issues with being so lax with people that it actually caused problems. And
Yeah.
where we thought we were being nice, it actually created confusion. So
Yeah.
tightening up some of those things, um, and the big thing is a benefits change that we instituted with vacation time.
Yeah.
Uh, we could dive into that.
I'd love to dive into that. Like that was one of my favorite things that we've been able to do in the last several years as a company. And so, yeah, go ahead and tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah.
About that.
So that, so when I first started, you looking through the books, and we get to the end of the year, and we had a policy where any unused vacation time was just paid out at the end of the year, and so that was like this huge financial burden for a small company at the end of the year,
Yep.
and I'm looking at that like, I don't know if this is really sustainable, and it's not doing what we think it's doing,
Yep.
right? It seems like, hey, yeah, we're being nice. We're like cashing out vacation time. People can get an extra bonus. But then, you ask the question, like, what's the point of vacation time? Is the
Right.
vacation time just to give people a backdoor for a bonus? Or is it for their mental health and well-being that they actually take vacations? And so then John and I were discussing like, well, what if we went to unlimited vacation time, and then there's no payout at the end of the year because you can't pay out unlimited. And you were like, yeah, I mean, that sounds good, but then we're worried about what's that do as a culture. Then,
Yep.
a lot of places that have unlimited vacation time, people are actually scared to use it, and it ends up not becoming the benefit that it seems. So we came up with a creative solution of giving a bonus to people when they took at least 4 weeks a year of vacation, right?
Yep.
And so it came out. It's one of those rare things in business where it's a win-win. The business came out ahead because even paying out that bonus was a lot less than paying out unused vacation time. But the employees come out way ahead because now they're actually taking a month off throughout the year and getting an incentive to do so. So, the company comes out way ahead, the people come out way ahead.
Yep.
And, it's one of those rare win-wins.
It was so good. And it just shows you the thinking. Like, and so, yeah, I remember when it was me, you, Caleb, Anthony, who is our director of operations. We were kind of trying to wrestle through this and trying to figure out a better way. And I remember it was just like this lightning strike of inspiration. Like, what if we paid people to take vacation? And it was like, duh. Like we're incentivizing people to take time off because time off is good for them, and so that's the kind of thinking, right, that I've gotten from you over the years. You're always like looking for the win-win, and you look at benefits the same way. So you ran across this payroll tax benefit that you started telling me about a couple months ago. Can you tell us a little bit about how you discovered this and what the journey was to realize if it was legit or not? Because I know you're a very discerning guy, and so you're careful. And so this interview is coming after a couple months of study on checking in, making sure everything lined up and it wasn't shady, because there's a lot of shady stuff in the world. So
Right.
tell us about that.
Yeah. So I work with another business partner on a business that does some small business consulting, basically helping small businesses that are in financial trouble. And so, we're always looking for ways to help them cut costs and increase productivity and improve their cash flow. And so within the course of that, we come across this benefit that my business partner first found through somebody who a trusted friend of his,
Yeah.
and he's telling me about it, and I'm like, I don't know, like that sounds shady. It sounds too good to be true. Like there's
Yeah.
no way that what you're telling me is right, because what you're telling me is that you have this program that will, save the company money and improve the employee's take-home pay and give the employee an extra benefit on top of it with no out-of-pocket cost. Like something's got to give, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no way that how does the insurance company behind it making money? And so I was really skeptical and did a lot of digging. But it turns out it is accurate. Yeah, I was also concerned, like, how is this even legal?
Yeah.
And there are versions of this where companies will kind of do it on their own and self-fund it, not through an
Yeah.
insurance company, and that can get into some gray area where they could get into some trouble. But the company we found to do this through, it's a fully insured, like a 200-year-old insurance company behind it, and they kind of check all those boxes.
Yeah.
And essentially, to break it down, what happens is somebody gets so you pay the benefit out of your paycheck,
Yep.
pre-tax.
Yep.
So say you have anywhere between $675 a month to $1,200 or $1,500 a month taken out of your paycheck pre-tax to pay for the benefits. But then at the same time, you get an insurance benefit of anywhere from $625 to $1,200
Mm-hmm.
put back in, but that's not taxable because that's an insurance benefit.
Mm-hmm.
And so so then that made sense. Okay, so somebody's making money in here, right? The insurance company in between is making that gap. And so then I'm like, okay, but how is it actually, like, how can they justify paying out a benefit every month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean they have to do something and go somewhere, or like go see a doctor or something every month? And it's basically taking advantage of this law that was made fairly recently that is encouraging, it's the government trying to incentivize preventative wellness.
Yeah.
So, this thing has all sorts of these different benefits, but basically it'll send like little 3-minute video clips, or it has life coaching benefits, or things to help people stop smoking, and
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of different things. So it's really easy to do something every month to qualify as improving your wellness, and as long as you do that, you qualify for the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So then that benefit goes in tax free, and so where all the savings comes from is all the payroll taxes. And I don't know how the last time you look at your paycheck, there's a lot of payroll taxes taken out of a paycheck, every single check. And so when you decrease, the basis of what those taxes are taken out off of, then you end up saving a lot more money than the gap that the insurance is getting.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it saves the average employee about maybe $100 per month, right?
Yeah.
So not a huge difference, but when you think of most benefits you're having to pay for, and
Yeah.
this one is a benefit you're getting paid to take,
Yeah.
that seems like kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then the company is also paying all those payroll taxes. They're paying their percentage of all of them.
Yep.
So then the company itself is saving about $600 to $900 per employee per year.
Man.
Which that adds up fast.
Yep. Yep.
And so it ends up increasing the bottom line for the company, improving cash flow, and giving legit benefits. Things like free telemedicine visits with no copay, think Aflac type benefits where they fall in above in addition to health insurance. So like if you end up in the hospital, you get $1,000 a day,
Yep.
just cash. I think benefits like that.
Yep.
And so, but the magic job is really all in decreasing the amount of payroll taxes being paid.
All right, that's wild. So there's the one stipulation I hear is that the employee would need to be educated that they need to be kind of partaking of this system on a monthly basis, because it sounds like there's a requirement that you need to be investing in your wellness or investing in your well-being. So is there a situation there where an employee doesn't do what doesn't take advantage of these benefits, and then suddenly they're exempt from the savings? Or what would be talk me through a little bit of that mechanic, how it works?
I've never heard of that happening. They make it's easy enough. There's an app, if you just watch like a 3-minute video in the month, it counts. And then they have like all these backups, if an employee hadn't done that in the month, then they just mail them something.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess assume.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I guess the person got it in the mail and is going to read it.
Got it.
And do it and cover their benefits. So,
okay. Got it. So you do become a part of this kind of machine that's set up to try to give you wellness benefit over time, but it doesn't sound like it's a punitive machine, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool, man.
The only real downside for an employee is because it's decreasing it's effectively just decreasing your income, even though it increases your take-home pay. So, if somebody was really young and had these benefits their whole life, and they retired and started taking Social Security, their Social Security check could be like $50 a month lower than it would have been because of the basis. But they're getting way more than that back.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, so from every angle that you've looked at it, and like I said, y'all don't know Dan, I know Dan. Dan and I have done a lot of life together, a lot of ministry life together, and now for, 5 years, 6 years, we've done business life together, overseeing a company together. I know that he's careful about vetting opportunities, and in fact, you have more of that discernment than I have, I think, in being able to see those things. So when I heard you talking about this, I was like, okay, let me let you investigate it a little bit more, and then I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions so that I can understand it a little bit more. So is this the type of thing that let me just even take it to where the rubber meets the road? Our company, Data Joe, do you foresee implementing this for our company, and would our company benefit from it? We've got 4 full-time employees, 3 full-time employees, 1 part-time, and then some fractional people, and then myself full-time. So
I wish we could. The insurance company behind it, it's the same amount of work that they have to do for a company of 2 employees or a company of 10,000 employees.
Yeah.
So they tend to shy away from smaller companies.
Yeah.
I've been told the minimum is 30 employees.
Okay.
I think we can, if there's smaller companies, I think the hard minimum I've heard is 10 employees. So that's one of the downsides is, I wish we could right now.
Yeah, not really a downside. It's just I'm glad I asked that, because it's clarifying and quantifying what the threshold is. So hard minimum was 10. So, if you don't have more than 10 employees, then this doesn't apply to you at all, really.
Right.
And then even there, like, you probably a sweeter spot would be 30 employees. And so larger companies are going to, and then again, you multiply that $600 to $900 saved per year per employee, and that starts to actually really look like something for
Yeah.
a larger organization in terms of their bottom line and their ability to carry on as a profitable endeavor.
Right.
So what if somebody wanted to sign up for this, or learn more about it, where would they go?
So I set up a website, winwinbenefits.com.
Yep.
Just figure it's one of those rare win-win
Yep.
benefits. So the name was available. So threw something up there.
I'm just going to tell everybody, Dan's also a domain wizard. That's one of his jobs, is that he runs a domain brokerage. Is that what you would call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're always snatching those high impact URL names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's more information about the benefits there, and you can submit a contact form or call or email. The first step is really, if you want to do it, it's pretty simple to figure out how much it's going to actually impact you. The first big step is submitting a payroll census, which is just basically a PDF of a normal payroll.
Yep.
And then they can go through and tell you exactly how much money the company's going to save and how much each employee will save.
Yep. All right. And then, full disclosure, you basically have an affiliate relationship, right? Like something like an affiliate relationship with that organization. So there is certainly benefit to Dan, and myself potentially, if you were to take this on.
Right.
But hey, I would think that's not going to stop you from doing it. That's going to make you want to do it even more. So cool, man. So any final words, man, before we're done for the day?
I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking, like, a conversation I've had with my kids when they're looking at a big decision.
Yeah.
Or like looking at a new job, for example. One of the things I try to talk them through is like, okay, think about if you already had the thing you're thinking about, would you go back to where you're at? Right? You're looking at another job. If you already had that job, would you quit that job to take the job you're in?
Mm-hmm.
And it can be a helpful way to just think things through. And so like we think about this benefit program, the renewal rate's like 96%. I think the only people that ever cancel are companies that get sold or like bought out or go out of business. Because it's something like, if you had it already, you would never think of canceling it.
Yeah.
Because you would be like, okay, employees, you're no longer going to get this benefit, and your payroll is going to go down $100.
Yeah.
And people would be like, they'd revolt. Like, why would you do that? and as a company, you wouldn't be like, yeah, I don't want to. I'd rather pay the extra $750 a year per employee to take away this benefit. Like, it wouldn't make any sense. So it does. It's kind of a no-brainer when you really dig into it.
Yeah.
And it does sound too good to be true, but the reality is, like, the payroll taxes are ridiculous, and it's just taking advantage of that. So.
Yeah. So it's so rare, and I love it, because part of what I've always appreciated about you is you see, you're open to the possibility that some of these things that seem too good to be true could be true. I've noticed that about you, right? You'll try things, or you'll risk things that I wouldn't risk, because you're like, well, what if it pans out? Whatever. And so then you'll go. And so I just appreciate that, and it's something that I've tried to take into myself a bit, to be more willing to investigate things and try things, and that skepticism that this world kind of creates. Like, there is a lot of skepticism that just because the world is so shiesty, right? Mm-hmm. And so few things actually are what they appear to be. So again, that's what got my attention with it, was seeing you pursue it and seeing you wrestle with it, and then seeing you come to the conclusion, okay, no, this is legit. So thanks for sharing that with us. And I do hope this benefits some people that are out there. Benefits both in terms of helping your business to become more profitable, and helping you to bring more value to your employees. Right. Just going back to the first thing we talked about, which was, how do we create, serious wins for the company and for the employee? And this sounds like one of those. So Thanks a lot for joining us today, Dan.
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny.
And for everybody who was with us up to this point, let us know if you want to know more information. And then the article that accompanies this video will have some links for you to find out more. So we'll check you out next time. Take it easy.